Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So real quick, don't forget guys to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because literally every little bit helps the channel out. Now today's video is going to be a tad longer, which is okay because Kovacs got a pretty beefy update. I'm going to do my best to keep all the explanations of each scenario just to make sure this video isn't too long, but I want to discuss what ways you can improve and learn from each scenario. The goal is to bring awareness and ways to help improve your aim. In prior videos, we have covered AimLab and also have covered AimLab versus Kovacs, and you know I do my best to cover each aim trainer subjectively and provide tools to help everyone improve their aim. Now in this update, if you made a playlist, everything unfortunately got removed. So when I logged in and I saw there was a huge new list of them, especially the ones that I saw that read Apex Legends Official. Now why I said this is going to be longer is that there's a total of 16 scenarios that I want to discuss and talk about. We're going to talk about each one, like I said, and we're going to talk about how it translates in-game, and again, what you can learn. What I found interesting was that they said official, but also when utilizing them, how the movement felt quite close to what I was seeing in-game. So I'm going to do a quick side-by-side comparison here. Now what you saw was just kind of an 80-80 spam comparing to one of the tracking scenarios. Now what we're going to do is to start with the tracking scenarios first. What is really cool about the scenarios for Kovacs is that they use more humanoid-like targets. It always existed in Kovacs, but seeing it more in some of these scenarios, specifically helping translate more to in-game, is very helpful. Now this list can be found under Sandbox, part of Kovacs, your local playlist, and it's the playlist literally the first two on the very top. Let's start with the easiest one of the list. And also quick disclaimer, my aim was not stellar on these, obviously. This was some of the first recordings that I did on them, but I'm using them for example purposes just to highlight them. Now, Thin Gauntlet. This one is the easiest on the list to start with and makes sense why it's first on the playlist. The goal of the scenario is to smooth out your horizontal aim. What you're going to learn is the smooth consistency in tracking. Because this is a gauntlet, the speeds after you defeat each target obviously changes. So you focus up on cleaning up your aim, making it as smooth as humanly possible, and finding out the balance of your perfect centimeters per 360 or inches per 360. Ask the question, is it too slow? Is it too fast? Make an adjustment. This is the best place to do so, especially if you're just constantly shooting and aiming. Now, Pasu Invincible Robot. This is really a classic in terms of Kovacs. It's one that really helps you adjust from micro-tracking. The target's about medium size. There's definitely harder scenarios, but what you're going to discover quickly here is just how much you need to adjust for your shot. This is incorporating now the Y-axis and blending that X-axis as well. It's good for resetting and also creating a base for how you're going to control your recoil whenever you're in Apex Legends. Next up is Ascended Tracking Robots. Ascended Tracking is always what I call more of a flex aim trainer. It's good, but there's definitely others that are better for target switching. But what's good about this scenario is that they're more robot-shaped or more human-like. So there's something still to learn here. What you're going to learn is how to flick and keep your movement to a controlled pace. What is most effective is a large movements where you'll need to make an adjustment on various heights. So again, this isn't a bad scenario. It's pretty good. Good way to kind of warm up your full 180 accuracy and aim. Next up is Strafes and Jumps Robot Low Ground. This is a really, really great scenario. It's perfect, kind of like Ground Plaza with a twist. Ground Plaza also has had scenarios where you can aim from height. This helps you adjust for your tracking whenever you have the high ground. In videos, I state just how valuable positioning is on Apex Legends, but whenever you have height, you're going to feel the camera move left and right, especially when you're tracking, and it can feel a little bit wonky compared to whenever you're obviously just face-to-face on ground level. This is a scenario you want to put yourself in consistently in Apex Legends of having the high ground, and obviously you need to practice it, so this is a great way to practice it. So Auto Balance Stairs Dodge Robots. Probably one of my new favorites just because it's so fun and unique. This is improving your tracking on higher and lower ground within stairs. It's actually a ton of fun, but the movement span is just also really helpful here. Lots to learn. Maybe you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I have, but definitely one of my new favorites that I've been utilizing in Kovacs. Close Fast Coliseum Robots. This one is helpful, but also easy to exploit to obtain a higher score. The goal here is to force movement. Well, your movement. When you get hit, you're going to lose a lot of points. You need to maintain momentum in one direction or the other, but also maintain accuracy. It has so much to teach, but be careful in building bad habits here and just exploiting it by going all the way to the left or all the way to the right. You kind of want to duck and weave and have it feel natural, because in Apex Legends, you're going too far in one direction or the other just means that you're going to become predictable, and that's something you want to avoid. Close Fast Strafes Buff Robot. Probably one of the better scenarios here is one that we highlighted earlier in the video. I'm excited as this one really helps with the 80-80 spam that you're very commonly going to get into. This scenario feels most like close fast strafe Invincible, but the value and the movement seems more in line with Apex. Not 100%, but really, really close. If not, maybe it is, but overall, high ranking scenario that's really going to help. Now next up is Buff Robots 360. This scenario is pretty solid, improves what extended tracking does, and works on flick and tracking human bot-like targets. Pretty straightforward and helpful. What you will learn here is understanding how much you need to move your mouse in terms of flicking and utilizing uncomfortable spots on your mouse pad. Now what occurs in game is you're never really prepared for an encounter. I mean, you can be best as you can, especially when somebody's moving like a maniac or wall bouncing. This is how you're going to get used to that, and you're going to find uncomfortable spots on your mouse pad that you're going to have to track whenever you have to flick between various targets, because you need to maintain the speed and momentum between various targets. So find that balance, and this is a really good scenario to help you find that. So let's break down overall impressions of the tracking scenarios. These scenarios are honestly very helpful. It's very straightforward compared to looking for a ton of them on Kovacs, and I think if you're new to Kovacs, this is really, really great for you. But I definitely feel they deserve a lot of praise. And again, if you're new, hop into it. It mirrors my list prior on Apex. I've released a video on Kovac scenarios best for tracking. I can definitely say that this definitely falls in line with what's going to help. Now, let us discuss the click timing scenarios. The first shot accuracy for guns like Wingman, or maybe a sniper if you're using irons, or maybe like the G7. So you could even practice your sniping by lowering your sensitivity a dramatic amount to match your inches per 360 as if you were scoped in, but that's definitely up to you if you would like to do that. Let's talk about flip, off, flick, random. This one feels almost like Overwatch 1 as you shoot a target and then it literally blinks to a different location. Now the plus side behind it is it does prep you for the element of surprise and needing to do a quick adjustment shot, which can occur in Apex Legends consistently, but remember targets in Apex vary in size, so keep that in mind, but practice on keeping your shot center of the screen or head level as possible, so it builds good habits. It's a good scenario. Bounce CT Dodge Park. This one is good at building that verticality, especially with the meta of Horizon, Octane, and other legends just flying all over your screen. So it's good practice and consistency build up on those hand muscles. These targets are not super small, so you can work on building speed within them. It's way better than Tile Frenzy. It's definitely better than some of the other scenarios, especially keeping the movement and momentum. So speaking of that, a great way to segue is the next scenario. One wall, 5 targets, Passo Reload. This is a great scenario, another one for those Kovac spaces that is just perfect. Pasu is amazing for improving your speed, precision, but not only just on static targets. Obviously these move around, which is obviously what you're going to be dealing with in game. I've spoken to peeps like Ethos who grind out their aim, and they definitely attest to Pasu helping them a ton. I agree, trust me, it will definitely help your aim. Invasion clicking. So this one's tricky, I won't lie. I'm not very good at it. One I'm going to have to invest a lot more time into to just justify and understand its validity, because it's targets that move around. Their goal is to really throw you off, and they're at different ranges, and so it's very small micro adjustments. They also kind of duck, they jump, and they obviously have a strong 80-80 spam movement. It's not like Pasu because all the targets are right in front of you, but it holds a pretty wide base across the screen. This is one I have to improve upon. I'm going to spend a lot more time on it, so can definitely report back and let you know how much it's helped me improve. Now next up is Man Wing Strafe Gallery V3 Robots. This is a great scenario for working on your wingman, because when you shoot, it kind of provides that recoil. This scenario will provide forward momentum landing consistent shots, and you will learn how little you need to move, but also create a rhythm with your shot. So it's really good. It's kind of like gallery shots and Kovacs in general. This is why obviously it's version 3, but a really good one catered more so towards Apex Legends. So these next two I'm going to merge together, which is MLS Click Robots and CLS Click Robots. Now the thing about this scenario is obviously one is more close quarters than the other, which is okay in my book. I feel overall other scenarios provide much more. I would honestly focus more on the tracking version than click targeting. What you can learn here, so identify if you have this issue, is that if you click too hard. If you click too hard on your mouse, it can definitely lower your stability whenever you're trying to aim. So figure out if that's an issue that you're running into. If not, this is not a bad scenario, good for obviously tracking and flicking and hitting your target. Speaking of flicking, this is probably an even better scenario in my opinion. One of my new favorites, Narrow Strafe Flick. One of the new scenarios, I haven't seen anything like this on Kovacs. It probably does exist because there's just a library and there's so many of them on Kovacs itself, is that clicking on a target that will jump, duck, and weave back and forth. You need to land headshots to maximize your damage. It's really great for micro shots, not just hitting dots, but seeing the target move in front of you and really try to juke you and have you mess up your shot. This scenario, in my opinion, has a ton of potential in translating well into Apex when trying to land difficult close-range shots. What you're learning is how little you need to move, but also need to maintain your speed and momentum. Again, just to wrap up all this video, appreciate you guys for watching, but I really enjoy the new scenarios that Kovacs put out here. I really think that they're beneficial. I spent a lot of time on them before recording this video just to kind of give some raw impressions, but also some detailed analysis and how perhaps it can help you improve your aim. I just want to get, again, some of the raw reaction, which is why some of the scores are not fantastic, but I just wanted to use it for a reference in this video. Definitely great for starting out Apex. If you're new, I couldn't recommend an even more solid list for just starting out. If you're just starting out, this is great. This has got pretty much anything and everything in regards to what you could possibly run into in Apex. A solid 16 scenario list. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Seriously appreciate the support on the channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Lots more coming to the channel, and I'll see you guys all next time.